It's the big year-ender, the final edition of Patriot Focus, here for this 2025-26 school year. And we have a very special guest coming up we will talk to for most of this edition of Patriot Focus. School is going to be finishing up next week, and then everybody's going to be gone. It's a little early, or at least it's early for me because I graduated in June. So everything happened a couple of weeks earlier this year. It's a good thing. It's definitely a good thing. And we are coming back in the fall with Patriot Focus. And I think tentatively the start date will be August 13th. We'll tell you about that throughout here on 790 The Fan at 93.7 FM. So just keep listening, and we'll keep you updated late in the summer as to when we'll start Patriot Focus. I'm pretty sure it will be actually the 13th, because we'll get a show in before the first football game, which is August the 20th, and Patriot football will be here on 790 The Fan starting that day, and we can't wait to bring that to you. Every sport and Patriot Focus can be heard here at 93.7 FM. We have a very special guest coming up next, and we'll talk to him in just a minute. You're listening to Patriot Focus on 790 The Fan. Back here on Patriot Focus on 790 The Fan, and I was going to say that our guest for this segment is the biggest guest we've had, but Mr. Carter was on last week, so I guess he would get top billing. But the second biggest guest we've had is my football coach. You've heard me talk about on football broadcasts from time to time that I played one season of football back in 1993. In my freshman year, the year Andy graduated. And the coach of that team was Mr. Rick James, who is now an assistant principal and is soon to be retiring from that position before too long. So we want to congratulate you for that, Coach.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
Let's just get started with where you started from, because I remember the word Indiana.
Well, that's close. I'm originally from a small town in Illinois called Maroa, M-A-R-O-A, and it had about 1,500 kids in it. And we went with another town there called Forsyth, which had 500 people, not kids, people in it. And my high school had 220. So I like to tell people I graduated 12th in my class. I just don't tell them there's only 54 in the class. So there's always a way to tell a story, and so I just tell them I graduated 12th in my class.
So that was Illinois, which means I got him confused with Larry Bird for some reason, because Larry Bird's from Indiana. So
he's from French Lick, Indiana. But big difference between French Lick, Indiana, and Maroa, Illinois. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
When you tell people you're from Illinois, they think you're from Chicago. Mm-hmm. It couldn't be any further from the truth.
Yeah.
My little hometown was, if you were speeding, someone would have called your parents on the party line before you got home, so they knew that. It was a great place to grow up, but I call now Bluff City home. I've lived here in Bristol and Bluff City since 1987 and would never live anywhere else.
So how did you get down here from all the way up there?
You get one guess, and it's probably going to start with a wife. My wife graduated from Sullivan East High School in 1977. We got married when we were still in college, when I was still in college. The agreement was 2 years up there, then 2 years down here, and then wherever I got a job teaching and coaching, because that's what I went to school for. Mm-hmm. I got lucky enough to get hired at Sullivan East High School in August of 1989. A good friend of mine actually is the one that hired me with the stipulation that I had to be loyal, work hard, and do the right things in the classroom and on the fields. And that was John Dyer. Mm-hmm. And that was 37 years ago. Luckily, I've gotten to spend my entire career at Sullivan East High School. I'm a Patriot through and through, and I love the community, the people, my colleagues that I've taught for, and the people I've taught with as well.
So how long did you coach the freshman football team?
Oh, I coached football for 13 years.
Okay.
And I would say probably the first 4 or 5, I was strictly freshman. Actually, Andy's father was my first freshman coach that I worked with. And then a guy by the name of Randy Lacey and I did it for a few years. And then I moved up to the varsity and coached with such great people like John White and Darrell Bryant and Matt Chandler and a host of other people, Brian Winchell in particular.
So at what point did you become an assistant principal?
I became an assistant principal in 2004, I believe it was, with Dr. Mary Rouse. She took a chance on me. And again, I think it was pretty well understood that I had to do those three things that I mentioned earlier: be loyal, work hard, and do the right thing. And it was going to be a year-to-year basis. I told her she would always have my loyalty, and I just talked to her yesterday. I try to stay in touch with everybody. I've done a good job of that, and she's been a good, loyal friend of mine as well.
And that is a flashback for me, too, because she was my 7th grade English teacher.
At Holston Valley?
At Holston Valley, yep. She was the one, if my memory serves me correctly, I think she was the one that taught us the Battle of New Orleans and she said, you have to sing this while you're on the way to the Hermitage. And we did, and I know every word to that song.
Okay, Mike, impress us. Tell us who sang the Battle of New Orleans. If you can tell me it was Johnny Horton, I'd have been impressed.
I was getting ready to say it's Johnny Horton. I did know that one.
Yeah, I knew it started with a J and had a Y at the end. I was going to say Jimmy, so there you go. I was close.
You're a little bit younger than my generation, so that came out, I think, in the late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah, that's one of 2 songs I remember that I learned in middle school. The other one, and I swear Miss Kathy Schaefer is the one that made us do this. The other one was the 1989 Billy Joel hit, We Didn't Start the Fire, which is nothing but names and places. That's all it is. And I remember every word of that song, too.
Did you have me in class, Mike?
I did not.
If you would have learned the preamble song, too, because I made my classes sing Schoolhouse Rock.
Ah, yeah, the Schoolhouse Rock. That's all good stuff. But yeah, I never got to have you for class.
I hate that you missed the experience.
Yeah.
You would have had a fun time.
Yeah.
I love teaching. To me, teaching was never a job. It was just a pure love. Administration work is fun, especially on payday, but the rest of the time it's work most of the time.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I had quite a few coaches that were teachers of classes in my day. My first one that I remember is Coach Mason, because we had American history with him, or I did, and he would refer to all of America's major wars as if they were games in a season of basketball.
Yeah.
And it actually stuck, because I'm sports brain, of course. So even back then, I was close enough to that. So he would say, well, yeah, we went over here and we won this one, and we went and beat the Germans, and then, we went over here and that didn't go so well for us, and we had to regroup and all that stuff. It was amazing, and that's one of my main memories, actually. The other one is we had a tornado drill one day, and I can't remember the name of the teacher. It was one of the social studies classes I was in when it happened. And we walked out, and a buddy of mine was in the classroom next door. You know how you do. You put your hands over your head, all that stuff in the hallway. And my buddy said, yeah, we're not doing that. This is right after Schwister came out, or close to it. And he's like, no, we're not going to be doing that. If there's an actual tornado around, we're going to go chase that bad boy. That got some interesting looks, like that one, actually.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, we never got that opportunity because that doesn't happen that often around here. But I loved the drills even then, because that way everybody knows what they're supposed to do. And that's not a thing a lot of people know these days, I've learned over the years.
Well, by state law, all schools, public schools in the state of Tennessee, has to practice fire drills, tornado drills. And that's important because if you go back and look, the last fatality for a fire in a school, Mr. Eric, correct me, was in the 20s?
Yeah, it was 1921.
Wow.
Or 22. Yeah.
It's been a long time. So we practice for a reason, and we take it serious for a reason, because the safety of the kids is always number one at Sullivan East High School, as well as, I'm sure, all the schools throughout the country.
That actually was helpful for me because I was at East High School when the Teachers Lounge fire happened. In the cafeteria where the vending machines are now, there used to be a big round table. And this was in the big years of Sports Center. So me and my buddy Doug Smith would sit there and we'd talk sports until the bell rang to go wherever we needed to go. And we were talking about heaven knows what. And I look up and I see black smoke rolling across the ceiling. I said, Doug, we need to leave. I don't even remember if the alarm was going off. You would think I would know that, but it's one of the things I don't remember. I just saw that and I said, yeah, we got to go. And out we went, and we all got out safely. That's the main thing.
Yes, we did. And that was a memorable experience in my lifetime. I remember coming down and seeing all the fire trucks and everybody out. Just glad no one got hurt. It did take a few days to clean up, but we did end up going back shortly. I think it was like within a week, that fire going back to school. So.
Yeah. And I'll bring Andy in for this one because we looked this up, and I've lost remembering, but that was 95. That was right around the time the Oklahoma City bombing happened. Wasn't that the day after maybe that happened?
I don't know the exact date. I remember I was in college when that happened. So but I remember when Oklahoma City happened.
Yeah.
But I never put them two together. So I don't know.
Because I vaguely remember they were still talking about that on the radio on the bus when we were riding back.
Look, I've got a whole folder full of clippings, and I do this on purpose. I keep stuff like that because, especially the negative things, because to remind everybody that every bit of it was preventable. It was human error that caused it because somebody was lax, somebody didn't do their job, somebody took a break, somebody lowered their guard, and they shouldn't have. And as a result, other people suffered. So I've probably got that somewhere.
Yeah.
Coach, welcome.
Thank you for having me. You know how many times I've been on a radio show?
How many?
Counting today, 1.
Really?
The first and only time.
That's great. Well, you were a guest of one of our segments once.
I don't recall that.
I think you were. I had you. It was over Assistant Principals Week.
Yes, I
Michelle,
remember now
and
that
Amy.
you mentioned that. Yes. But this is the first time in the studio, and I will tell you, I have the face for radio.
I do too. I think that's why it really works
three.
for me. Yeah. No, Mike, you look good, and you're talented.
Yeah,
you know what
you're a lot
doing.
younger than me. I can tell you that, Mike.
I do want to ask you a couple things, if you don't care. Number one, you have been an administrator now longer than you were in the classroom. But which one's more memorable?
I think actually probably the classroom.
That's what I was going to guess.
I love the classroom. I love teaching. I loved playing music for the kids when they'd come in to set the tone.
You did.
My kids, and you actually were one of my student teachers.
That's right.
Along with another hair gentleman.
That's right. You did.
And you guys were great. Both, I think, I'm not sure where Hank came from. Was it Trevecca or was
Trevecca,
it?
yeah.
And you came from
Milligan. Yeah, Milligan, yeah.
And I just pretty much remember you guys watched me for the first week, then I watched you for a week, and then I just turned it over. And,
I'm glad you did, too.
And just checked in on you every once in a while. You guys were both great, and I enjoyed having you guys as student teachers. But as far as the kids themselves, they did a great job. I went back and think quite frequently about going back in the classroom. I'm not sure I could do that nowadays because the kids have changed and the technology's changed. And I remember the big technology when I first started was a chalkboard.
Whiteboard, or dry erase marker.
That was the upgrade. I'm telling you, I was in high cotton. My wife used to get so mad at me because we'd have to take all my clothes to the dry cleaner because I had chalk all over my ties and everything at that time. So,
isn't that funny?
It's been a while.
It has, but regardless of all that, Coach, you possess that it factor with kids, with people. I love, and I'm going to miss dearly our mornings in the gym with the students where you're going around telling stories, telling jokes, the dad jokes. You are so relatable, and you make the kids enjoy being where they're at. And East is a great place, and it's because of that you established.
Well, I'm just part of it. I'm just one cog. I like to think everybody's like me. That's the one thing I learned about being an administrator. Not everybody teaches like you do. You have a set of blinders on as an educator where you think your subject's the most important, or everybody teaches the way you do, or everybody reacts the way you do. And as an administrator, you see that that's not the case. But I know that you do the same that I do. And matter of fact, I've stolen a few ideas off of you. That's what what good educators do is they steal ideas off each other.
That's very kind, Coach.
Especially in the cafeteria, going around and talking to the tables. I didn't do that until you came along. What has it been now? 10 years?
This is year 9.
Wow,
Goes by fast.
goes by fast, doesn't
I'm sorry. Gosh almighty.
But I love the kids, and I'm so blessed that I've got to teach at a community that allows me to be myself and do what I enjoy.
Well, you're not going to be replaced. We've hired somebody that's going to be the new assistant principal, but they're not replacing Rick James. You got honored at class night by having the Mr. and Miss Patriot Award renamed the Rick James Mr. and Miss Patriot Award that has a $500 scholarship with each person. I think that's pretty special, but I also think it's very appropriate because it's fitting. That's who you are. I mean, you're just a great guy.
I've raised my family there. I had 3 children, and they all literally were raised there. And the award named after me was a shock. I'm so dumb that my family was there, and I didn't pick up on it until after you actually called me up there. And then I just thought I was going to hand it out until I looked at the plaques. And that's a great honor because that's something that will live on for a while.
Yeah.
It's just humbling. I'm not a type of person that takes a lot of compliments well.
Right.
I've got to learn how to do that. My wife tells me all the time, keep improving yourself daily, and I keep trying, but don't do it. Don't make a lot of headway on that.
Well, these next few days, and if I'm not mistaken, 16 class periods
Yeah.
is all that'll be left, and there'll be a lot of praises and compliments to you, and all of it's worthy, man. And just embrace it. And I want you to know how much I appreciate you and thank you for what you've done for me. And since I've been part of your journey from the beginning, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah, because you were just a young man. How long has your dad been retired now? About 15 years?
26.
Wow.
Wow.
That's hard for me to believe.
24. I lied. 24. It was 2002. Yeah.
Then, of course, I was lucky enough to have Hank and you, and I love your mother. She comes up and does a swag shop, and I always call her Mama Hare. And so the Hare family has been a big part of my family as well, and your niece and your kids have all been a part of it as well.
You've had all my kids and my brother's kids, and you've been part of not just my family. I'm one of many families that can say that about you, and you have such a way to connect with everybody. I appreciate it. It's going to be missed, man, and we're not going to fill that gap. It's going to take years for that to happen, but thank you for that.
Well, I know this, that nobody's irreplaceable. I know that Dr. Williamson, who's going to be taking my position, is a great guy. He'll fill in my shoes perfectly. The only problem is that he's not quite 6'8", 300 pounds like I am, but he'll bring much better qualities, different qualities than I have, to the table with being the person he is and the leader he is. He's a great guy. We were fortunate to have him as a chemistry teacher.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing the good things he does as an administrator at East. Just taking that next step. And I know that it might take a month or two, but he'll get into it real quick.
Well, Coach, on behalf of everybody in the Patriot Nation, thank you.
Well,
Thank you. Can't say it enough.
and I want to say that on behalf of myself and my family, thanks for Sullivan East, the staff, the community, for accepting us. I mean, you got to remember, I was an outsider. I was one of those Yankees that came down south when I first came here. But it's surprising that the people that approach me and they'll tell me, I remember when you played at Sullivan East High School. I'm like, well, didn't really do that. But, I've spent over 3.5 decades there. Love the school, love the place. Excited for the changes that we've had over the years. I mean, let's just start listing a few. We went from the Patriot pasture and cinder track to a beautiful football facility. We've got AstroTurf on the softball and baseball fields. We got a jumbotron. I remember when we were excited just to get air conditioning in the gym. Goodness gracious, Coach Dyer and myself and Coach White and all the coaching staff would be in there in August working out with our teams, and it'd be 100 degrees in there. When we got that air conditioning, I thought we were in just hog heaven. So it's great to see the improvements that we've made. It's great to see, the technological improvements we've made with the kids and the students, with every student having their own computer. I remember we got our first desktops.
Yeah.
We thought we were high cotton boys back then. And, of course, if you got a calculator, you were considered cheating
Yeah.
back in the day.
That would require it. Yeah.
Now they're required, and they can do so much more with them, with graphing and things of that
Yeah,
nature.
it's crazy.
And now we got box lights and all kinds of technology that helps kids learn. The advances are just astronomical. It's hard for someone of my generation or your father's generation to comprehend how far we've gone.
It's crazy. Well, Coach, it doesn't matter what the technology is or what's out there. I mean, I could have a Ferrari, but if I don't know how to drive it, it's not really worth much. You know how to drive the car. You know how to drive the train. You know how to deliver instruction. You know how to relate to people, because at the end of the day, it's not about coaching the sport or teaching the subject or being the administrator of the policy. We're dealing with kids, and that's the most important part. And you made that the number one thing, which is why you had a great career.
Well, thank you. My slogan has been, kids don't care what you know till they know you care. Mm-hmm. And I believe that wholeheartedly. Relationships are the heart of any community. And I think Sullivan East High School is the community.
Yeah.
We've talked about this, you and I individually, how big of a role we play, not just educationally, but throughout the community, with supporting kids and helping watch them grow. I don't know if you know this, Mike, but it seems like about 35 to 40% of our staff that teach at Sullivan East High School are East alumni. Mm-hmm. I'm extremely proud of that.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how it makes my heart feel when I see a kid come back after coming through East, going through college, and giving back to the kids in our community. I always say it this way. You've had hundreds of people pour into your life. It's great that you pour back into others.
Yeah. And that's the thing that you do as a teacher and as an administrator at any school. And if you can do that for as long as you have, that's pretty impressive. So congratulations on your retirement from all of us, and thanks for everything you've done for the community over the years.
Well, you're welcome. And again, like I say, everything that I've done for the community has been given back to me tenfold.
And that's the way it works. You're listening to Patriot Focus. Andy's back with me here in just a bit to wrap up Patriot Focus for our first season. That's coming up here on 790 The Fan. Back here on Patriot Focus for the final time here in the 25-26 school year. Wow. It's been amazing, hasn't it, Andy?
It has. And, I don't know what I'm going to do each week here. It's got to be part of my routine.
Yeah.
And when we figured out how we could record at school, and it made things so much more efficient, and we could dig a little deeper and get to talk to more people. I just think it was beautiful how this show came together. And I want to thank you guys here on 790 The Fan for giving us this opportunity to showcase Sullivan East for all it offers. We know we're from there.
Yeah.
We got to see it, but it's so much different now.
We
even brought in our new assistant principal and had him walk around and show him. And he's only been away from the building 5 years, and he was shocked how it's changed just in the last 5 years. And he literally works a half mile away.
Yeah.
So it was so good to highlight those things, give the kids a platform, put the teachers out there, let people know what we're all about and who we are. Wouldn't have been possible without our awesome sponsors there with Continental Security and Gary Melvin, class of 83.
Yep.
And you guys here at 790 The Fan. I can't say enough thank yous to you all, and I appreciate it, and I look forward to next year.
Tentatively, as I said before, we're looking at August 13th because that's the Patriot Focus before the first football game. And our second show is going to be Patriot Focus and then the football broadcast,
so awesome.
almost back to back. So it'll be Patriot Focus, the Braves Clubhouse Report, and then we start the game broadcast. So that's going to be fun.
We did that on purpose. We want to be the first game played in Tennessee.
Nice.
And that's why we're making this happen. BTS will televise it as well.
Yep.
It's a big deal, and we're playing Johnson County, and we're looking forward to that. What's crazy is, we've got a lot of next year planned already.
Yeah.
And that's just how it works. Before we do, I'd be remiss not to talk about the class of 2026, who, as we speak, are getting their diplomas right now.
Yep.
And yes, this is recorded, because if you're listening to this, I'm not here right now. I'm shaking hands and giving these diplomas to these awesome students. It's hard to believe that it's here, and one of my own, and my daughter Leah, is graduating.
That's fantastic.
Right now. I stay so focused and busy that I don't take time to think about my own life,
Yeah.
and realizing that I got a kid graduating. That's pretty special.
Yeah.
And I don't want them graduating from anywhere else other than Sullivan East High School.
That's exactly right. Like we said, we have had a ball doing this show. I remember Jaden, I think it was, with the messed up Reds bobblehead over here that looks like a Viking. That's when I knew, okay, they're still teaching them right over there.
Absolutely,
because
yes.
we don't like the Vikings. That's when I knew, okay, this show's going to be something special. And yeah, I've had an absolute ball doing this. And all of the shows, like he said, all the shows are pre-recorded because of the simple fact that it's easier to do that way. And when everything happens on Thursdays, like class nights and graduations and
ball games
and all that stuff, you pretty much have to pre-record it. And even in front of a live studio audience, which I think those in the classroom were the best ones.
I love it. Yeah, that worked out well, and the kids love it. They love that. They are so attentive when we're doing it. And I like to take pictures of them with their teacher afterwards, and we put it on our YouTube channel a day or so after it airs, and they like to go watch and see that and listen for themselves. And it's amazing how nervous they get when they know. It's one thing, they're very open about speaking and saying their opinion, whatever. But then when you say, okay, now this is going to be recorded and it's going to be broadcast on a radio show.
Yeah.
Boy, it makes them quiet all of a sudden.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we may need to act like everything's getting recorded and put on a radio
really.
show.
Yeah. Now, there are still events going on, so tell us about some of those things right quick before we sign off.
You know, something huge on Tuesday the 19th. It's called Liberty, a musical celebration of freedom. This was done 40 years ago. It was created. I've been part of this musical presentation. I was the narrator in 2014. We're doing that in honor of the 250th celebration of the United States of America. It's their birthday present. Our birthday present to America is we're going to sing, we're going to talk, and we're going to celebrate the birth of our nation. So we're going to do this in conjunction with Westridge and faculty members too, but it's going to be at East High at 6:30 on Tuesday, and it's free to the public. I just want everybody there. It's going to be in the Patriot Theater. Whole purpose, we're celebrating America.
And we've got just about a minute before the Braves come on, so we better sign off. Thanks for listening to Patriot Focus. It's been a great year.
It has.
Thanks, Andy, for being with us. We're looking forward to next year.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks for listening to Patriot Focus on 790 The Fan. Have a great summer.